Okay, here we're going to look at polynomial long division, problem type 1. So polynomial long division works just like long division works for numbers, where you have to set the dividend, what you're dividing, inside kind of like a long division bar. So I'm going to set that up as 6x squared plus 22x plus 13 inside. The divisor, 3x plus 2, goes on the outside. And then our quotient will end up going up here. So in order to make sense of this, what we have to focus on is the first term of the dividend and the first term of the divisor. And so what we need to do is divide these two only. Don't worry about the rest of this stuff. So my first step really is to do, and let's do it over here. I have to do 6x squared divided by 3x. Well, 3 goes into 6 twice. X goes into x squared and leaves an x behind. So my first term of my quotient is 2x. Now, just like in long division with numbers, we have to take that and multiply it to the divisor and rewrite it underneath. So I'm going to do 2x times 3x. That's 6x squared. By the way, if you did this first term correctly, these should match perfectly, and they do. Then I have to do 2x times positive 2. That's positive 4x. You want to make sure you write the like terms underneath one another to make the addition easier. Now, you may have forgotten, but in long division with numbers, once you multiply that, you have to subtract off those terms. So I'm going to change the sign on these so I can subtract them from my original dividend. So the positive 6x squared is now negative. The positive 4x is really negative 4x. And so when I add these up, these cancel, which should happen if you did it right. And then 22x's, take away 4x's, is positive 18x's. And now I'm just going to drop down positive 13. Now, if you remember also from long division, once you did that subtraction, you don't look at the original dividend anymore. Now I'm going to look at this first term, and I'm going to divide that first term once again by the first term of the divisor. So the next thing I have to divide is 18x by a 3x. Well, 3 goes into 18, what is that? 6 times, and the x's cancel. So I get just 6. So the next term is just positive 6. So if I multiply these out now, I'm going to do 6 times 3x is 18x. And again, these should match if you did it right. 6 times 2 is positive 12. Just like we did before, we have to subtract these off. So I'm switching the signs on both. So 18x minus 18x is 0. That should happen. And then 13 minus 12 is 1. Now you might think, okay, I have to divide 1 by 3x. And you could try that, and that is what we need to do, but 3x doesn't go into 1. There's not an x up here for me to divide. So this is my remainder. Normally, how we would write our solution then is the quotient 2x plus 6 plus the remainder 1 over the divisor, which is 3x plus 2. So that's my remainder. I can't divide it anymore. This would be my final answer. Let's take a look at one more because these are kind of tricky. So once again, I have 18x squared minus 33x plus 18, and I'm going to set it up with my 3x plus 3 outside. Now I'm going to divide 18x squared by 3x. So 18x squared divided by 3x. 3 goes into 18 6 times. X goes into x squared x times, so I have 6x as my first term. So 6x goes up there. Now I got to multiply 6x times 3x. That's 18x squared. Then I got to do 6x times 3. That's just positive 18x's. Now I have to switch the signs on these, right? I'm going to subtract them off. So this becomes negative, the positive 18x becomes negative, and now I have to add them up. So these cancel, which is always should happen. You should get nothing here. And then negative 33 minus 18 more, that's going to be negative 51x's, and then I get plus 18. Okay, so the next division problem I have to do is I have to divide negative 51x by 3x. So I have negative 51x by 3x. Now I know 3 goes into 51, I think 17 times. So if I divide those, I get negative 17 and the x's cancel. So the next term is negative 17. Now I have to multiply negative 17 times 3x. That's negative 51 x's. Negative 17 times positive 3 is negative 51. And so what I have to do here, now this is a little tricky. Here these are negative. When I subtract them off, if I subtract the negative, that really turns into a positive. So if I distribute that negative, these really both turn into positives. So when I do that subtraction step, I just switch the signs of both terms and add them up. So these cancel. Negative 51 plus 51x cancel. And then I have 18 plus 51, that's going to be 69. Now that's my remainder because 69 can't be divided by a 3x, right? So my final answer here would be 6x minus 17 plus the remainder over the divisor 3x plus 3. Okay, I hope this helps you guys.